Do you feel like you've been working out and putting in the work in the gym and eating healthy, but you don't actually look like you work out, or you're not as lean or as strong as you really want to be? Watch this video right to the end, because I am going to show you how I went from this, fairly fit but not super lean, to this, strongest and leanest I've ever been after 2 babies. I've been a personal trainer for over 15 years, and let me tell you, I have learned a lot in the last 15 years about blasting body fat, building lean muscle to appear leaner and stronger. I'm gonna break down the 3 mistakes this girl was making, young trainer in the game, just is looking at fitness magazines, wants to look like the girls on the cover of the fitness magazines, really working hard in the gym to appear leaner, but she was making 3 mistakes. And then I'll show you what this girl does. This is me now, 2 babies later, the leanest and strongest I've ever been. I'm gonna show you what I do in order to achieve this figure and stay this way all year round, even after 2 babies. And I'm about 1.5 years postpartum with my 2nd son, and still was able to achieve this body. I've been really excited to share this video with you guys on my channel because I get this question all the time. I'm working really hard in the gym, I'm eating healthy, but why don't I look like I work out? Or why aren't my arms leaning out? I wanna have a more toned stomach. Why is it not working? I get this question so much, so I'm really hoping this video is helpful for you as well, and using myself as an example because I've been on the exact same journey as all of you guys over the past 15 years, rediscovering what actually works. I'm gonna share all my tips and tricks with you in this video today. But just quickly, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified for new videos coming out every single week. Fitness tips, fat loss tips, full follow along workouts, nutrition info, all things to help you on your fitness and fat loss journey. Okay, so let's dive right in. Here are the top 3 mistakes I was making as a young trainer in the game, fresh out of university with my degree, excited to become a fitness model on the cover of a fitness magazine. I was working so hard. I was pushing myself in the gym. I was eating right. I was doing all of the things that I thought would help me get lean, but I didn't necessarily get as lean as I wanted to. And here is why. First mistake I was making, I was restricting myself way too much. There is no way, looking back, I was eating enough calories to fuel my body for how much movement and exercise I was doing. Again, remember, I was a personal trainer. I was starting my business. So I was working on the floor, working with clients 8, 10, 12 hours a day sometimes. So 1, I was burning a whole bunch of calories there. I was also very restricted of my diet. I watched everything I ate. I tracked everything I ate. I stayed within a calorie goal, which looking back was way too low. I used to do sober January. I used to do no yam fries for a month. I used to do all kinds of things. I remember going into Starbucks and seeing all the baked goods and being like, I can't have that. I only would drink black coffee, no cream in your coffee because that's extra calories. Don't drink your calories. All of these things, I was very restrictive of my diet. And what I have learned over the past 15 years and what I'm not doing now is restricting my diet as much as I was back then. I can honestly say that I did not have a good relationship with food. Again, being a young trainer in the game, I was like, I have to lead by example. I have to eat super healthy. I cannot eat cookies ever. I can't ever have anything bad because I have to lead by example. And again, back then the goal was to look like a personal trainer. I wanted to look lean. I wanted to have abs all the time. And this literally drove my eating. I wouldn't say that I had an eating disorder, but I definitely didn't have a positive relationship with food. The thing that I've learned in the past 15 years that I didn't know back then that I know now is that food is fuel. You are allowed to eat food, everything in healthy balance. So what this girl now, currently, everything is the 80-20 rule. I don't track anything I eat. Again, if you are just starting out, I highly suggest you track your food at the beginning of your journey. I've been doing this for so long that I can eyeball things. I know exactly by listening to my body and eyeballing portion sizes. I kind of have a good idea of exactly what I'm eating and calorie-wise and protein-wise because I've been doing this for so long. So now I'm at a position where I don't track anything I eat. If I want a cookie, I eat a cookie. I don't eat a whole box of cookies. I have 1 or 2 cookies and move on with my life. If I want to take my kids to the donut store on the weekend and have a donut, I have a donut. I drink cream in my coffee because YOLO. Again, I have 2 kids. Coffee is life, and a little bit of cream in my coffee is not gonna make the difference of being lean and not being lean. The main thing to remember for fat loss is calorie deficit, not diet, not starving yourself. So knowing the exact amount of calories you can eat and still drop body fat, but still eat enough to fuel your body, feel energized, and build muscle. If you are looking to achieve a lean figure, but you're not fueling your body with enough food, you are not going to be able to build muscle and look leaner because your body is starving. You are not going to be able to push hard in the gym. You're not going to have the energy to do all these things. So that's the one thing the Michelle 15 years ago didn't understand is food is fuel. Eating carbs, eating fats, eating proteins is okay in moderation, making sure you hit your protein goal and that calorie deficit. If you are looking to know more about calorie deficit, I've got a free calorie deficit guide. I'll link it in the description below. You can also check out these videos. I talk all about what calorie deficit is and how to calculate your own calorie deficit. And if you are currently eating under 1,200 calories, because you're trying to lose weight or lose body fat, I want you to go and watch this video as well. I talk more about what I was just saying about fueling your body properly. So go watch all of those videos. I'll go more into detail about what I'm saying here, but that's my first mistake as to why I wasn't getting leaner. I was not eating enough food. Mistake number 2 that I was making that was keeping me from losing body fat and building lean muscle to appear leaner, I was doing too much cardio. So here's a little backstory about me. I literally grew up playing sports my entire life. I was an athlete, I was an elite athlete, high level soccer, high level basketball. I played university basketball. So let's just say cardio was part of my life. As a soccer player, as a basketball player, I was always running. So when I went to the gym on my own, the first thing I went to was the treadmill because I actually really enjoyed running. I enjoyed sprints. I enjoyed intervals. So naturally I thought in order to lose body fat, I needed to do more cardio, which is a very common misunderstanding out there in the world. And again, the Michelle 15 years later knows that is not the way to do it. But this is what I used to do. I would go to the gym and I would run or jog on the treadmill for 15 to 20 minutes prior to doing my weightlifting. Then I would go and do strength training. And if I didn't do the treadmill before, I would do the treadmill after, or I would do treadmill sprints in between my weightlifting sessions. Like I'd do a couple sets of an exercise, then I'd go hop on the treadmill and do more running because it was that mindset. In order to get a good workout, I need to sweat. I need to be dripping in sweat. Otherwise it was not a good workout. And this is again, another common misunderstanding I hear from a lot of people. If I didn't sweat, if I'm not sore the next day, if I'm not crawling out of the gym, it wasn't a good workout. This is wrong. This is a mistake young trainer Michelle thought. Again, now 15 years later, new, leaner, stronger Michelle knows that's not what you have to do. So after saying all that, the old Michelle was a cardio, what you could call a cardio bunny. I still did strength training, but I definitely prioritized the cardio. I feel like coming from my athletic background, I just loved cardio and I loved to sweat and I loved riding the bike. I loved going on the elliptical. I loved doing the treadmill. I loved putting the treadmill up and down and running backwards and doing sprints, all kinds of things because it felt good and it was what was common to me. I still did strength training again, but I did not prioritize my strength training over my cardio. So here is how I fixed that and changed things up. The Michelle 15 years ago also had a lot more free time. I was still working very hard. I also had a lot more free time to work out. The Michelle now has 2 kids, a husband, a house to keep up, 2 businesses, an online training business, and an in-person personal training business. And I'm very, very busy, which means I don't have all the time that I did before. I need to be the most productive in the 30 to 45 minutes that I have to exercise. So now I don't prioritize my cardio anymore. I prioritize strength training. Now, don't get me wrong, I still do cardio, but if I'm going to the gym and my focus of that workout is strength training, I do strictly strength training, maybe little intervals of battle ropes in between, but for the most part, that would be in my finisher. I am strictly focused in that workout on strength training. And then I have other days where I'm doing steady state cardio or I'm doing like a metabolic HIIT type workout that you'll find on my YouTube channel here, just 20 to 30 minutes of body weight HIIT training, skipping, burpees, squat jumps, all of those kind of things. But those are less frequently throughout the week as opposed to strength training. So if I do 3 strength training workouts a week. I'm usually doing 1 to 2 cardio workouts a week. And one of those workouts will most likely just be walking. So steady state cardio, I'm taking my kids outside for a nice long walk, or I'm going by myself and just doing some steady state, slow, low intensity walking. If you wanna know why walking is so amazing for fat loss, I made a video about that too to help you guys out. Check out that video, I'll link it in the description below. If you're not walking on a regular basis and you're one of those people like I used to be and you're doing sprints and hardcore intervals on the treadmill all the time and it's not working, go watch this video, I'll explain it all for you there. So in conclusion, mistake number 2, old Michelle was doing way too much cardio and not focusing enough on her strength training. Again, cardio is not a bad thing. Just try to prioritize strength training over cardio. 3 strength days, 1 to 2 cardio days versus vice versa, 4 cardio days and 2 strength days. So that's my tip there, is if you're looking to build lean muscle, blast body fat, you want to prioritize your strength training, still getting in cardio, but just a little bit less cardio, more strength training. And last but not least, mistake number 3, old Michelle was making, I was not lifting heavy enough. I was not following any kind of progressive overload, and I wasn't challenging my body like I really should have been. Again, I was an athlete, I was a cardio bunny, I just loved sweating. Coming from my sports background, I could push myself for hours and hours on the treadmill. I could do all kinds of crazy sprints. I could run wind sprints, skipping rope, plyometrics, all of that stuff. It came natural to me. Although I learned a lot in my university degree and my certifications and my mentorships, all of these things about strength training and heavy lifting, I applied these principles to my clients, but when it came to myself, for some reason, I just didn't push myself as much as I should have been. And it's not about worrying I was going to get bulky, because I know that is a common misunderstanding out there, that women especially, if I lift too heavy, I'm gonna get bulky. That is not true. That's not what I was worried about. I just didn't challenge myself. So what do I mean by lifting heavy enough? I mean, if I was doing a dumbbell row, I would pick up, say, a 20-pound dumbbell and I was able to do 10, no problem. I probably could have pushed to 15 reps, no problem, which means in that case, I should have been lifting a 25 or a 30. So you wanna make sure you're lifting heavy enough in the 8 to 10 rep range, really heavy 6 to 8 rep range, where when you get to that last rep, either the 8th rep or the 10th rep, you can't do any more. You are maxed out. That means you are lifting the correct weight and you are challenging yourself enough to build lean muscle. So none of this low weight, high rep, like I'm gonna pick 10-pound dumbbells up and do 30 bicep curls. That's not gonna help you build lean muscle. You really need to challenge yourself and lift heavy. So what does the Michelle now do? I am constantly challenging myself. So let's just tell you one prime example. The Michelle from 15 years ago was not able to do a single chin up, pull up, nothing. I literally worked so hard. I was doing lat pull downs. I wasn't lifting heavy enough. I clearly wasn't. I was challenging myself, but I wasn't challenging myself enough in other exercises to help build up my back muscles, my core strength, all of these things. I was very, very strong, don't get me wrong, but nowhere near as strong as I am now. And I am able to bang out 10 chin-ups, 10 pull-ups, on a good day. Let's say minimum 5. I can do 5 solid chin-ups or pull-ups any day. On a good day, I can get 10. It all just depends. But I am so much stronger. I am able to deadlift about 225, 235 pounds. And this is all after having 2 babies. So I have progressively built my strength up. I'm constantly challenging myself. Single arm dumbbell row, I'm able to do a 60-pound dumbbell, which back in the day I would have never even thought was possible, or I might not have even considered doing it because I just didn't challenge myself. So that's the third mistake I was making that I don't want any of you guys to make, is don't lift a light weight over and over and over and over and over again, week after week after week. You are not gonna build muscle that way. The body will plateau and the body adapts to all of the stressors put on it. So if you're consistently using 15 pounds in your single arm dumbbell row over and over and over again, Your body is just gonna adapt and you're never actually challenging your muscles enough to continue to get stronger. It's not a complete waste of time, but if you are looking to get leaner and drop body fat, you need to keep increasing your weights. Once you get to that 10th rep and you probably could have pushed to 12, that's when you need to go up to the next weight. So if you were lifting a 15, you go up to 20. And once you can do the 20, to about 10 reps, and you probably could have pushed to 12, that's when you go up to the 25 and you go back down to 6 to 8 reps and build yourself up that way. Same with deadlifts, same with squats. All of these movements, you have to continue progressive overload and continue to increase your weights to get stronger. Once you get stronger, you're building more lean muscle. Your body's actually burning more calories when you're just sitting down while you're working out, after your workouts, all of these things, because your basal metabolic rate will speed up. So once we've got our basal metabolic rate up from building more lean muscle, you're gonna burn more body fat. I've got a video on that too, basal metabolic rate and total daily energy expenditure. Learn all about that there. So there you have it. Those are the 3 mistakes that I was making that got me pretty fit and pretty lean, but nowhere near as lean as I am now. And I don't want you guys to make any of those mistakes. So let's go through them all again. Eat in a calorie deficit, but do not restrict yourself and do not eat less than 1,200 calories a day. Make sure you're hitting your protein goal. Number 2, make sure you're not doing too much cardio. Don't prioritize your cardio over your strength training. Make sure you're getting at least 2 to 3 heavy strength training days a week, and then the rest can be cardio workouts on your off days. Remember, walking is amazing. And the 3rd mistake, make sure you are lifting heavy enough to challenge yourself, progressive overload, and make sure you're repeating the same exercises on a consistent basis to continue to challenge yourself and increase the weights in those exercises. Don't switch up your workout every single time you work out, because it's harder to adapt and harder to progress with progressive overload if you're consistently doing different exercises. I always say try and pick a few compound lifts that you're gonna do every single week, such as bench press, squats, deadlifts, bent over rows, pull-ups, any of those compound exercises you want to continue to repeat. I break down all the compound exercises that you want to be doing on a regular basis to really blast body fat in this video here. I'll link it in the description below. And I also made a quick form tutorial for all of those exercises right here. I'll link that in the description below. You guys, I'm doing this to help you out. I've got so many different resources on my channel. I'll leave the links below to all the videos that I think you should check out if you're really looking to blast body fat and build lean muscle. Again, learn from my mistakes. I'm in a much happier place now. I eat what I want, when I want, within moderation, healthy balance, 80-20 rule. I feel super strong, I feel lean, and I can still have fun and enjoy my life without restriction or any food guilt. I'm the busiest I've ever been. I actually work out less than I ever have, but I am very focused in my workouts. When it's 30 minutes or 40 minutes, I prioritize the right things, and I'm doing the right things to fuel my body outside of those workouts. And it's working, and I wanna share all of those tips with you. So make sure you give this video a like if you guys enjoyed this video, and leave any questions in the comments below. I'm always happy to be in the comments answering your questions. You can also shoot me a DM on Instagram. So I really hope this video was helpful, you guys. Remember, be the new Michelle, don't be the old Michelle. I really want you guys to learn from my mistakes and take my advice, and trust me, it will work. And make sure you share this video with anyone you know who's a cardio bunny, not prioritizing strength training, not fueling their bodies properly, and not lifting heavy enough in order to get lean. If you know someone with a goal of getting leaner and getting stronger and blasting body fat, send them this video, because I really hope we can help as many people as we can build a healthy relationship with food and a healthy relationship with exercise. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and I'll see you guys next week.